Six birds in a trench coat, building a zoo.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Exhibitat Zoo, also known as Foxes in Boxes. Since a long time has passed since the last episode, and my number of followers has almost doubled. Let me just start with a quick recap. At the beginning of this series, I asked myself which habitat animals would it actually be possible to house in a box that has the same size as the new walkthrough exhibit. These are not walkthrough, but they do have the same dimensions, which is 20 by 12 by 8 meters. And the answer to the question is quite a few. And I'm not talking about just sticking them in there and letting them suffer. I'm talking about actually satisfying both their social needs and their space needs. So I divided all of the animals into categories based on how much space the minimum number of adult animals needed. So far, I have built Exhibitat for the prairie dogs, the meerkats, the fennec fox, the Arctic fox, the pangolin, the binturong, the koala, the striped skunk. Oh, you have a baby! Like we have baby skunks. That was weird. Where's your head? Where's your head? Are you stuck? We have a baby skunk and it is cute. Look at the baby skunk. It is so cute, baby skunk. Okay, I'll stop now. Both species of tortoise. They live here side by side. Right now, though, I only have babies. It worked. I had the adults, they had kids, everything was great. But then they had more babies, and these babies remain babies for a super long time, so I put the adults in the trade center, and now I just have a gazillion giant tiny. Why was your hand just through the fence? The only issue is that the amount of balls they need in order to have their enrichment needs satisfied, it looks kind of ridiculous. The red panda, who have babies. And the parents is over there going, you deal with the kids, I'm sleeping. And I put in all 3 species of lemur. They were each separately on the yellow list, but I decided that since all of the animals on the green and yellow list so far had been surprisingly easy to fit in here, I was going to challenge myself and just shove all the lemurs in one habitat since they also have the species enrichment bonus. And yeah, that worked as well. Now, the last animal on the yellow list was the largest one so far, and that was the bongo. Right now I only have 1 in here because I am moving towards the next generation, so this guy's mate is still in quarantine, but I did breed them. In fact, this, now adult, was the offspring of my original 2. Which brings us to today's animals. We are putting in the Nyala, which needs 300 square meters for 1 individual. Also, the Capuchin, who is only in the orange category because of how flipping social they are. You have to have at least 6 of them. Before any of them, however, I am going to be putting in the 9-banded armadillo from the newest DLC. So before we put in the orange animals, we're going to put in the green animal, but before we put in the green animal, I do want to do just a little bit of management, starting with, why do I have protesters? Where are the protesters? Who are you protesting? Okay, so somebody's not. Is it the glitch again? Yeah, it's the glitch. Okay, let me explain. There's this super annoying glitch with some of the animals where they forget that they actually do have their climbing need met, and since they can only access this area by climbing, that number is super low as well. Now, the way to solve this glitch, simply delete a tree, unpause, put the tree back. Now you're happy. See? I don't quite have that one met, but it is orange instead of, it's better. So now all of the lemurs and the koalas are pissed. Delete. And already they're happy. So let's just put that one back. Now they're completely happy. What? Someone escaped? Who escaped? Who has escaped? I can hear that someone has escaped. Who is it? Location. Where are you? Why is it always the lemurs? Seriously, how? They forget they can climb, but they are perfectly capable of jumping through glass. Are we good? Okay. Welfare. Same deal with the koalas. Delete. Play. Undelete. Now you're happy? Yep, now you're totally happy. And these are both elderly, so they can no longer reproduce. So I should probably see if I can get some new koalas in here, actually. See, now you can climb. Let's see what I already have. Yes, so I have their baby, but she does need a mate. There is exactly one, and I am not going anywhere near that. Nope, you guys are just gonna have to live in here until you die, and then maybe I'll find a mate for your baby. What did I win now? Breed habitat species. That's fine. Tortoise has matured. Excellent. Yeah, I shoved a bunch of babies from other zoos in here as well, just in order to get them to mature, which is part of the reason why I have 1,000,000. So now you can be released into the wild. Bye. So what I do with my animals, now what? Oh, you're in the quarantine. Interrupting myself. Hello, Bongo. Go in here with your mate. And then I had another animal with welfare issues because she is in the quarantine. Oh yeah, the red foxes. I forgot about them. Okay, you know what? Let's go in here. So what I do is I go in here and I sort them by maturity, because that way I get all the babies first and I can see which babies I have not yet managed. Generation 1 is the currently active generation, the breeding ones. Any offspring that I decide I want to continue breeding, they get the number 2. For example, this one, when she matures, which she already has, she will be going to the trade center to stay there until I am ready to switch generations. Any that I don't want to keep, like this one, she has poopy genes. I give them a 0, like that, in front of their name if I intend to sell them. If I'm just going to release them, they don't need a name. They're just going to be 00. And then I have another thing where I put an X in front of them if I intend to keep them, but not breed them. Fennec babies. Female with excellent genes. Yusra, you are going to be my next generation. Then we have baby Arctic foxes. She is the only girl, and yes please, her genetics are pretty great. And then I give them contraception so that they don't start breeding with their parents. Why do I have so many? Oh, the red fox babies just... What? Tom Ellis. Tom Ellis is an actor. Plays Lucifer in Lucifer. The game seriously named my red fox babies Tom Ellis. Well, unfortunately, you all have super crappy genes, so bye. Then what I like to do is just sort like this and just really quickly run through it. I can then see these guys have matured and need to leave because they are 0s and red. These are infertile adults. Oh, but these are meerkats. They have X's and they can have many, many males in a habitat, so you get to have that. You're still in the quarantine, which is why you're sad. My Arctic foxes have become old and infertile, so I'm gonna need new Arctic foxes. I'm also gonna need paper to write down what I need to do. I have an absolutely unbelievable amount of pieces of paper on my desk. Arct fox. Oh yeah, right, my koalas and my binturongs are all old. Then let's go into animal trading. Aw, I don't know why the albino aardvarks are so cute. I want to buy all of them and give them wonderful, wonderful homes, but we're not putting an aardvark in a box today. Arctic fox. What do I have? Let's look at that first. These are all from the same zoo, which means they are probably siblings. And I could go either way with male or female. Let's just see. I want both size and longevity at least 95%. Can I get that? Okay. Yes, please. Let's go in here then and grab this male and the new female. Go to quarantine. Let's look at the binturongs. Bint. I have a female. So what do we have for sale? Absolutely nothing that reaches, well, this level of excellence anyway. Let's just see. Nope. 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 Better. But also very old. Nope. Yeah, no. Let's keep looking at koalas and binturongs once in a while, but also just move on to the 9-banded armadillo. Animal trading, what do I have? Look at them, they're very cute. Hello, get in here. We have issues. Prison crapper. Oh yeah, for those of you who are new, I also built a prison. This is where I keep my pickpockets. Many guests think prices are under whatever. So let's turn this one up to 50. And kids, you get to now pay 42. That's nice. At the beginning, I caught a lot of pickpockets because I couldn't afford to hire a guard, so I paused it and then I went around and I clicked on every person who was walking alone. And if they had thoughts of pickpocketing, I had a bunch of people fix the work zone. Now let's actually do something. Oh my goodness. That is so cute. I'm gonna make you so happy. You're the most adorable thing ever. You're so cute. Okay, let's do this thing. You already have the space that you need. Yes, your terrain is not great. You need less grass and more sand. Now you're happy. It looks much more boring. Let's look at the plants you like. That's big. Do you like this tiny little tree, which for some reason I think would look super cute right there? Oh, you love these grasses. Well, so do I. You don't like grass, but you like this grass. That is huge. Okay, no tree. You like this stump. You like these things. So let's do something cool with that, actually. Let's put this one here. Let's put a bunch of these on it. For you there and you. Maybe desert animal. You get in the jungle. And one more at the bottom. Okay, now what? You probably want a cave. Do we want desert rocks? Or the red desert rocks? Or the savanna rock? Tropical rocks. I like these. Let's start by testing out how steep of a thing they can walk up. Can you walk up that? Click the cutie, press H. Recalculating? Yes, you can in fact walk up that one. What about this? Yep, you're fine. That is what we are doing. So I'm going to be grabbing this one and make it slightly less steep. Bring it down like that. And then bring it out here. Slope it down that way a little bit. A little bit more. This is good. You. And also you. And I guess bring you up here and then flippity boop. And then up and over. How's about we do this? That's nice. Maybe? Up. In. Rotate this way. Yes, that actually makes sense. A little bit that way. So much fidgeting with these rocks to make it look like something that could be natural, but is also not, because it has been created by humans in a zoo. Bloop. That's fine. The glass isn't though. So now we have a little cave, and I am going to, this time, actually remember to give them water before they are almost dead. I'm always using these super ugly ones because they don't take up a lot of space, and they are self-refilling. That's not exactly pretty either, but I think I can work with it, maybe? I mean, that kind of helped a little. That looks, 2 round things and a long thing. I'm not going to be doing that. Boop. It's fine. Let's just leave it at that. Now let's go into habitat. Ooh, that is awesome. Why didn't I just use this thing to camouflage it? Because I don't always think. Why? Because I am human. Can I put this one down like anywhere? No? But I couldn't in some of the other. Why can I not? Enrichment. 9 out of 8, which means that when you have babies, it will no longer be enough. What about 2? Will that look completely ridiculous? Scent marker enrichment. I will be putting that up here, because then I can hide it almost entirely, but still have just a little bit of the herby sticking up, maybe? Oop. You're not getting a pumpkin ball, okay? I hate the pumpkin. This one is cute. A sprinkler. Where do you want your sprinkler? Is that too close to everything else? What if we just delete them? How happy are you now? You're very happy. You know what? I'm gonna give you one of these things. Plop. Will you fall down? Yep, you will. Undo. Can I just plop down the barrel feeder somewhere else? I don't know where that accent came from, okay? It happens. Accents happen. Right there? Yes. How's your space? You have plenty. And how much did you need when you also had babies? So let's go through the roof. 230 if you have the maximum number of babies, so you do actually need just a little bit more space. Yes. You like leaves, don't you? You like sleeping on leaves, like the cute little animals that you are. And these leaves I really like when we're dealing with an animal that doesn't like that many plants, but I want their habitat to be lush. Then I just shove these leaves in there, and they do not count as plants, but they look like plants, and I like it. Big leaves. Tiny. Plants. Here. And what about the small one? Here. And also here. And taking the medium one and popping down a lot of you along the back. Ooh, so nice. Are you sticking through the wall on the other side? Yep. That actually doesn't look bad. That kind of almost looks like it's supposed to be that way. That works. What if I just take this whole thing and copy it and like put down another one over here? That's gonna be no. But what if we sink you down and mix just a few of you in with these grassies? Yeah, I like that. Extra spicy grass. And then take the other pink one and put that one over. Oh, that is so pretty. But now this part here looks super bare, which is why I am going to take the leaves and move them over here. There we go. Look at how nice and actually real sort of kind of that looks. Right now, your back wall looks incredibly boring. And I intend to fix that. Okay, so let me grab some rocks first. Then I am going to do this and this. Put you over here as well. Do this thing. Slightly this way, slightly that way. Bloop. That's nice. Cool. Bloop and bloop. Up. Flip it. Yes. And then just do this surface and also up slightly. And do not peek through the wall. You're not the one peeking through the wall. You're not the problem. You're the problem. Everyone's the problem. I'm going to take one more of those grassers and then some of this. That's too big. I want the other one. The other one. That's the small one. That's fine. Okay, I can do that. I wonder if I go in here and instead of searching trop for no good reason, I am going to search grass. Yeah, I don't want to use the salt warps because they really reduce the traversable area so much. What if I sink you in and have like the little white bush over here? And then do the same thing over here on top of these grassies. Buffalo grass. Yes. I love these so much. Buffalo grass, can you come out tonight? Are we getting too many plants in here now? And also, yes, look at that. Because this over here is very, very grass and then not grass. And now it makes more sense, especially if I sort of cover up the edges of some of these leafy areas. Also here and here. I'm gonna grab a little more grass for over here, a little more grass here, and maybe sink some down all the way so that we have some that is just barely peeking out. And now, what is your opinion? Not too many plants. That is good. Don't like the palm tree. But I still didn't do the thing that I was going to do. Maybe I don't need to do it. How much space do you have? 227. What if I just press play? Recalculating. 250. You have less. I might use some of these. And you are going to be that height. And then you will be adjusted to pretty much the same height. How does that fit with that one? Fine. Everything is glorious. And you can come out here. Now we're going to go into construction. Because then we can grab this one and move it up and put it here. Beautiful. Click the cutie. Can you walk on the plank? Yes, you can. And how much space do you have now? A lot more. Okay. Look at that. That is cute. Cute, cute, cute. If I do this, will you be able to walk up and down? Yeah. Traversable area. Unpause. Excellent. And how much space do you have now? 235, which is just above what we needed. Whee! So then this one can actually be the thing that holds this corner. And then flip you around a little bit. Down, over, in, That's not 100% horrible. Okay, so now this thing supports that thing, which means I don't actually need the log in there, but I do need it out here. Doesn't look great. I have an idea. That's cute. One more. Here. Okay, now what? Now you have plenty of space. You're happy. Okay, so that wall's actually kind of boring. Nobody's gonna look at that. It's fine. Pangolin is about to have offspring. I love my pangolins as well. Look at that. And then you just curl up and your babies magically appear. Look at the baby! I love these guys so much. I love you, baby pangolin. Your mommy is over there, but I'm right here. How can you be so cute when you're just pixels? That was the armadillo. Let's put some armadillo signs up. Sorry for popping your balloon, lady. Didn't mean to do that.
Now let's build a habitat for the capuchins. This is the point where I actually had 2.5 more hours of footage, but all of the audio sounded like this. That was me saying that I did in fact find a new male binturong. So for that reason, not the binturong but the audio, I'm just going to show you the highlights. The first thing that I decided was that I was going to do things a little bit differently. Specifically, instead of building it from the ground up, I was going to build it from the ceiling down. So I made this hanging climbing thing, and then I made a slightly longer version of the hanging climbing thing, and then I made an even longer version of that, and a longer version with 2 layers. And then I copied those and moved them around, and yeah, I made a lot of them. I think you get the point. At which point I had to make sure that the monkeys could actually get to the climbing things. So I put up a bunch of ropes, and then I connected them with ropes, which did take a little bit of fidgeting back and forth, but it ended up working and I think looking pretty good. Then I realized that they could not, in fact, get to all of the climbing pieces, and part of the reason was that the knots I had added for aesthetic reasons were in the way. I also decided to add a bunch of platforms to increase their traversable and climbing area. These, of course, also hang from the ceiling and look like this. Again, I made some layered ones, and there is a long one along the back wall. I connected them with ropes as well. Except for the parts where I decided to go with bamboo pieces, mostly because the shortest rope length is 2 meters and the shortest length I had between platforms was, well, 1. Of course, I put down some bedding for the little monkeys. Okay, I put down a lot of bedding. Took care of their enrichment needs. Temporarily buried a monkey. Played with my rubber duck, of course. I know that is not a euphemism. Then I solved an aesthetic issue, again, where the toys were peeking through the bottom, and I also put in more toys. Recalculated their traversable area, which was fine! Got distracted by a chase that was happening and watched my guard catch another pickpocket, which, did not save her from going to jail. Also found a random box with a red panda on the roof for some reason. And went back to putting some plants in the habitat. Just kidding, that's not how it looks. I really like these leaves on the ground for some reason. You don't really end up seeing a lot of them under everything else that I put. Yeah, those trees I took out. No, not good. They were really messing up the traversable area. So then I started thinking, if everything else can hang from the ceiling down, up, why not plants? And that led to a lot of upside down or up hanging down plantification. That is a word now. I also put in more platforms because despite their traversable area being fine for 6 monkeys, and despite 3 of them being on birth control, the other 3 are still going to be breeding. So I put a bunch of platforms on all of the walls, and I made them accessible this time using mainly bamboo. primarily because the distance between them was pretty short in certain places. I also plopped down more platforms right up against the window, the point of these being that I wanted to make sure, these are really tiny animals, so I wanted to make sure that the guests can actually get a good look at them. More bedding. And as I did before, I also decided to use some bedding on the ground as plants, not because I'm worried about putting too many plants in there, but because they do give a nice sort of color base, a little bit darker than the ferns, but pretty much the same leaf texture. And then I went berserk with the buffalo grass. I do really like the way it looks, super overgrown, and that thing in there instead of the trees and the traversable area issue is no longer an issue because I have so many platforms. I really do like these ferns as well. Put in many, 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 many ferns. And the, as I like to call it, the lady fern. Again, because the color variance and the depth that it gives the whole thing just looks really nice. Which leads us to the finished result. This is probably one of my favorite habitats so far. I really like this almost industrial vibe along with the whole overgrown look of it. It's almost like this is some kind of a post-apocalyptic construction site that is just taken over by these little monkeys. I almost want to build an entire zoo in sort of an overgrown, crumbled down, abandoned style. Maybe I'll do that. Also, this is where I decided to end the video. I will be putting in the Nyala next time, along with a little dining area back here, because we are starting to run into some pretty serious standing in line issues everywhere. Until then, bye!